Hey, hey, hey. What five people do you spend the most time with?
This is Love Smarter, the show for women who want extraordinary love and aren't afraid to learn for it. Here's your host, Laurie-Anne King.
In today's episode, we are going to take a look at who is in your top five and why that has a huge impact on your life and how happy you are in your relationship. The answer to the question, who do you spend the most time with, might be more important than you think. Motivational speaker Jim Rhon is widely quoted as saying, "You become the average of the five people you spend the most time with." This relates to the law of averages, the theory that states the result of any given situation will be the average of all outcomes. And in my experience, there is truth to this. On a social level, as human beings, we are wired to connect. We desire to fit in and to belong. And so the people that we're spending the most time with are the people that we try to belong with, consciously or subconsciously. Now, of course, every person is their own person. We're unique and we have our own values and beliefs and preferences, and we might not need to conform to a group. But we need to keep in mind that for most of our human existence, as a species, we've lived in tribal communities. And in those tribal communities, exile or isolation meant basically the same thing as death. We really have a strong, deep instinct to connect and get along with those around us. When it comes to our relationships, we are greatly influenced, whether we like it or not, by those around us. Who we spend our time with affects our beliefs, our attitudes, our desires, and our decisions. Humans are more affected by our environment than we think. This is one of the reasons that who you choose as a spouse is one of the most important decisions you will ever make. You are agreeing to have that person be in your top five for the rest of your life. They're influencing the average that you will ultimately become. Your spouse isn't the only person who influences your success. They're one out of five, but they are a really big influence. And whoever is in their top five influences them. A friend of mine who has been happily married for over 30 years told me that one of the most difficult times in his marriage that him and his wife went through was when she was going to her weekly knitting group. Why? Well, in that knitting group, the culture was that all the women would get together and complain about the tragedies of their lives and about the ways that their husbands were disappointing them. This kind of behavior is contagious, and it made my friend's wife actually less satisfied with her own relationship as she unconsciously tried to fit in with the group. She found problems. There was an obvious impact on his wife's attitude, and there's an impact on her reticular activator system, the part of our brain that determines which stimulus we give our attention to and which we ignore. When we're put in a culture of criticism or condemning, we look for things to criticize and condemn. When it comes to having an extraordinary, lasting love, do you have people in your top five who have that? Or who are committed to that, who at least believe that it's possible? It can be hard to find people like this. There is a lot of cynicism and resignation about marriage and long-term relationships. If what you want is the kind of love that lasts and gets better and better over time, then you need to spend time with other people who have or at least want this for themselves. This is one of the most unexpected benefits women who join my group coaching programs receive. It's unexpected because I wasn't even expecting it. And while, yes, my coaching is good and the advice I give I think is brilliant, really, most of the benefit actually comes from the power of the community, from having a community who listens to you and can hear your pain, but also smack you uphead and remind you that you're not a victim when it's time to get problem solving. So how are the five people that you spend the most time with impacting your life? Are they making you bigger? Do they inspire you? Do they call out the best in you, or do they keep you small? When you have an argument with your partner, do the people in your top 5 remind you that you have the power to solve it? Or do they agree with you that he really is a jerk and you should leave him? Or do they buy the story that you're spinning that he really is a jerk and help you decide how to punish him? Are they more interested in complaining about their situation than they are in changing it? Now, if you're single and you want a relationship, this doesn't mean that you need to hang out with a bunch of married people. It's really fun and totally fine to hang out with other single friends. But make sure that they're friends who share your values. Friends who have a positive outlook on being single. If you're hanging around other single people who are saying things like, all the good ones are taken, or men in this city just don't know how to, blah, blah, blah. These little sayings might sound innocuous, but they can be quite harmful. They are influencing your beliefs and what bits of reality you're going to be able to perceive. So make sure that you're spending time with other people who have a positive perspective about being single and finding a partner. If there's an area of your life that you want to change, find other people who already have what you want and spend more time with them. This is one of the easiest and fastest ways to create change in your own life. And it's not even that hard. Just putting yourself in the right environment can make a huge difference. You will unconsciously and consciously learn all kinds of things and pick up new behaviors and attitudes that people who have what you want have already adopted, and that's why they've been successful. So spend more time with people who have the kind of life, relationship, success, or career that you want. And spend less time with people who aren't a match for your desires or your values. Here's a quick exercise. Write down the names of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And then ask yourself, what kind of impact do they have on me? Is it positive or negative? And then distinguish that impact even further. Why did you say it's positive? Why did you say it was negative? If after doing this exercise you find that in your top 5 you don't have very many people who actually already are embodying or pursuing the same things that you want, it might be time to really evaluate who you're spending your time with. Then brainstorm, who could you add to your top 5 that already has what you want? And now find a way to spend more time with those people. Okay, I'm serious. Do this exercise. It's going to take 30 seconds. Write down the names of the top 5 people you spend the most time with, and then decide, are they impacting you in a positive way or in a negative way? Are they getting you closer to what you want or further away? Remember, information is power, but only if you use it. All right, that's all for today. I will catch you next time, and until then, love smarter. Hey, did you like this episode? Then you will love my upcoming live online class. You'll leave with insights that improve your love life immediately. Plus, you'll have the chance to ask me anything. This class is completely free and it always fills up quickly, so head on over to laking.tv/free class to register right now. See you in class!